In the backdrop of the country being precautious as far as rising COVID cases globally, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also appealed to the public to mask up and to follow the guidelines issued from time to time by the central as well as state government in this regard. Let me bring in our Uttar Pradesh Bureau Chief, Pranchu, who is joining us on the broadcast. Pranchu, we're seeing more and more states now come forward because there are a lot of lessons that we've seen being learned over the last few years. No state and the country at large wanting to take risk now.
Yes, that's right. And in fact, in a detailed review meeting that has been, that has concluded just a while back, the Chief Minister has made the intent very clear. He has clearly said that though there is no need of alarm in the state of Uttar Pradesh, over the period of past 24 hours, there has been no case that has been reported from across the state. But keeping the fact in mind that some countries like China are already seeing a massive new wave of COVID, therefore all protocols need to be revived. And that's the reason why the state government has said that without being alarmed, in public places, the government and authorities should, encourage people, further remind them of wearing the mask. So the necessity of mask, that is something which is now on the agenda of the state government. The second big agenda is to ensure that oxygen plants in Uttar Pradesh, they are working, they are running on the capacity. Hospitals infrastructure is also being looked into. Last year, several COVID wards and emergency wards were created. So I think that process is again is going to be implemented. So the government has made the intent very clear that though at the moment, there is no need of alarm or panic in the state of Uttar Pradesh, but you can't let down the guard, you can't let down the caution, and therefore the state government today, after that COVID protocol meet chaired by the Chief Minister, is now again on the process of reviving all those protocols. And one big decision, of course, is as per the centre's advisory that screening of all those people on the airports will take place who are coming back to India or Uttar Pradesh from abroad, from journey from abroad. So all these mechanisms, they will now be, put back in force in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Oh, absolutely. And Pranchu, you spoke about a very significant factor, which is to check as far as the oxygen plants are concerned, because we had seen what happened when the Delta variant had hit the country. So are we already seeing some officials checking the preparedness of hospitals and these oxygen plants?
Yes, that's a major decision that has instruction, I'll say, which has been given in today's meeting that was chaired by Chief Minister, attended by the Health Minister, Health Secretary, senior police and other bureaucrats. So, and you're right, see, last time there was this massive outrage over the cases of oxygen crisis that was reported from many parts of Uttar Pradesh and elsewhere. And that's the reason why now the focus is back on them. And yes, after today's meeting, the authorities would be working in that direction to ensure that hospitals are back following those protocols, and oxygen plants are also operational and working on their capacities.
Oh, absolutely, Pranchu. And as we are continuing this conversation, we are also now getting an image coming in from the Parliament where you can see the Prime Minister wearing a mask. You can see the Minister Piyush Goyal wearing a mask, essentially saying that it is time to mask up because we don't want to let our guard down. In terms of specific protocols, Pranchu, any guidelines that the state government now wants to work with going forward?
Yes, see, the specific guidelines, we are still awaiting in a form of official communication. But the message after the press conference and that reaction which came in from the Health Minister, Brijesh Pathak, that makes very clear that without creating alarm, without, using any force, the attempt would be to caution people, encourage people in wearing the mask. And I think the pictures coming out from Parliament, Prime Minister wearing the mask today, I think that is the beginning of that, reminder to the people at large that you need to mask up in order to ensure that things don't go out of hand. As of now, situation is all controlled in states like Uttar Pradesh. But any sort of, callousness could create a big challenge. That is what the message coming out from the government is.
And Pranchu, the other big, aspect is which most experts are highlighting is that our booster vaccination rate is still very low. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, are we seeing any particular effort being made to at least have the elderly in that state who have not taken the precautionary dose to also come forward now?
Yes, that is, of course, also one of the key agendas. And in today's meeting, a detailed discussion has also been done about how many people in the state of Uttar Pradesh, around population of around 25 crores in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So how many people have been fully vaccinated? How many people have got the booster dose? And the booster dose, ratio is still less. It's still not very encouraging. And therefore, one key instruction also is that hospitals, the officers concerned should ensure that more and more people come forward delivered and the booster doses is administered to them as a protocol. So I think we will also see more work being done in that direction. That has also been a key agenda of discussion in today's meeting.
Pranchu, I also quickly want to talk to you about, again, drawing lessons from what we had seen during the Delta wave, which was one of the worst, was also having a ready infrastructure in place. So are we already seeing some sort of communication being sent out to hospitals to have some sort of reserved beds or wards in case the cases rise?
Yes, Ridhima, see, after today's meeting, and the fact is that this meeting, this COVID protocol meeting, that has been revived. So it was in suspension for past, many months, all through this year. From the time of election, the meeting of this COVID team didn't take place. Today, it's the first meeting which has taken place. So be very sure that following this meeting, the concerned instructions, departmental memos would be issued. As of now, the press communication has made it clear that hospitals need to gear up. Oxygen plant preparation needs to be, put on full throttle. People should be cautioned about the necessity of wearing the mask in public places. And the fourth point, of course, is that booster dose implementation should be done. So I think following today's meeting, the detailed memos and the government orders will, of course, be issued in the course of time by today or tomorrow.
Pranchu, quickly, I also want to understand, right now we do understand that, the country is not seeing very high number of cases. Specifically Uttar Pradesh, do we understand how many cases the state is seeing on an average?
Well, see, the state has not reported cases, and the communication is that even during the past 24 hours, no new case has been reported. Clearly, no new case also about the new variant of corona that is rampant in many countries now. So, as of now, there is no COVID cases in the state of Uttar Pradesh, but the preparation is in the precautionary mode. So, the government is already coming in a state of caution, and that's the reason why the meeting has been held today, and the instructions have been issued.
Okay, Pranchu, we'll leave the conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details. So as I said, you're seeing more and more chief ministers now come forward and they're appealing to the public that COVID is not over yet. The UP chief minister also appealing to the public, also saying do follow the guidelines, which of course have been